The first step of the windshield wiper forehand progressions is to learn how to swing and follow through correctly. Now, if you remember the windshield wiper forehand video, we said that when you hit a windshield wiper forehand, you need to swing up on the tennis ball more, as opposed to through it. On a classic forehand, you're going to swing through the ball, and when you swing through it, that causes the racket to release into the court, so the racket is on edge. But if I hit a windshield wiper forehand, racket's going to come up. Because I'm swinging up, the racket is going to release and follow through and look like a windshield wiper blade. So that's the motion you need to practice. You need to shadow it and get down to start. Now the way we're going to do that is by choking up on the handle first. You want to hold it at the very top of the handle and then just practice this upward swing. And when you swing up, you want to stop up here, and then if you can see through the strings, I can see the camera through the strings, then you followed through correctly. The other thing this does is the handle is going to let you know if you followed through correctly. If I swing with a classic motion, I swing and then the handle is going to release into my forearm after I hit and when I follow through. And on a windshield wiper, you want it to stay to the side. So it shouldn't run into your forearm. That's what this looks like. So if I swing and then follow through, handle stays to the side of my forearm the entire time. If you're right-handed, same thing, stays to the side when you follow through. So to start, you want to just simply shadow the swing and the follow through, but how you shadow this motion is a little bit different from how you initially started shadowing in the forehand progression section of the website. For the windshield wiper, you want to start in the racket back position like I'm in here, so the racket is pointed back at the fence. And the reason you want to do that is because when you swing, your body is rotating as well. So you need to be able to get your body and your racket working together and still get that windshield wiper swing and follow through. If you just face the net when you hit and go like that, it's not as realistic as rotating into the ball and using that wiper motion. And again, if you watch me shadow a couple of these, I'm freezing at the top of my follow through, and I could look through the strings if I wanted to, and that ensures that the racket is swinging up and then starting the follow through correctly. Now another thing you can do when you shadow this motion is go to the back fence like I've done here and position yourself so that when you follow through, the racket is going to be right in front of the fence. It might graze it, but it's not actually going to hit the fence, and that'll make sure that the racket is releasing in the correct direction. If I was hitting a classic forehand, when I follow through, the racket would run into the fence. But when I use the windshield wiper follow through, because I'm swinging up more, the racket should release so that it doesn't hit the fence as I follow through. And if we take one more look at this, notice the handle. It is releasing to the side of my forearm, and again, that ensures that I'm following through correctly. Once you've mastered the shadowing, then you can try and hit some tennis balls, again with the abbreviated follow through. And this is what that looks like. I'm not trying to hit too hard, trying to just make sure I'm swinging up on the back of the tennis ball, generating topspin, because that's what you need. If you don't have topspin on these balls, you're doing something wrong. It means you're not brushing up on the ball enough. You might be swinging through. But if you hit like I'm doing here, and you freeze at the top of the follow through so you could see through your strings, you should be hitting with some spin because you're swinging up and you're swinging correctly across the tennis ball. Now, once you master this motion, then you can try and add the entire follow through. So you're going to swing and then you get to the point where you were freezing before, and then to complete the follow through, you just bring the racket and your arm down across the other side of your motion, again completing that windshield wiper. It's not any more difficult than just turning your arm and the racket over. And again, the handle is releasing to the side of my forearm. Now, one thing that will help you ensure that you're following through correctly is when you bring your arm and your racket over, there's going to be a point where your arm and your body form a box. So this looks like a box right now between my hand, my shoulders, and my elbow. And you want to make sure you're getting to this position. So you follow through, racket comes up, and then you come back over, and now you've got a box with your arm and your body. So here I am hitting with the entire follow through. And again, if we freeze it right now, this is the original position where I would just stop the tennis racket into my follow through. And if we continue to play it, then I bring the racket over and I form that box briefly during my follow through. And just to emphasize, not trying to hit hard, just making sure I work the technique and making sure I'm swinging up on the tennis ball, following through like a windshield wiper, and then bringing it around to the other side of my body.